Mika, where do you stand on this? Because 20 million people are on the standard tariff. It would appear that they're being ripped off because those people that switch can get a very good introductory rate, can't they? So they think, great, I'm going to get a good rate because I'm joining the company. But if they stay with them for any length of time, then they get stung later on.
Yes, and I think we need to recognise that 2/3 of people in Britain do not switch. And that's why the MPs debating this topic today in Parliament have said switching is all nice and good, but it won't fix the problem. We need to recognise why are energy bills going up and up? What are the drivers? And at the moment, the two big causes are fossil fuels and corporate greed, effectively, that we're seeing wholesale prices, particularly because of coal and gas. Those prices have shot up in the last 6 months. That's dramatically pushing up what the rest of us are all paying. And Ofgem have also come out saying the big six have no reason to raise bills because even though those wholesale prices have gone up, the companies have actually already bought the electricity for next year, so they shouldn't be passing those costs on to us. What they are doing in the process is pushing millions and millions of people further into fuel poverty, further and further people having to choose between heat or eat. There's solutions.
Yeah, Richard, I mean, uSwitch obviously puts the onus on the consumer to do their homework and to find the best deal available, but the MPs debating this today, should they really be focusing on the big energy companies and almost forcing them to give their customers a better deal as standard, if you like? Because why is it that one energy company, will charge you £200 more a year than another one? You're still getting the same energy.
The trouble is that energy suppliers really need to feel the power of their consumers. They need to feel that there's a genuine threat that their customers will leave them if they take them for a ride. And I completely agree, Mika, with what you're saying about 2/3 of people are overpaying for energy. They absolutely are. That is a major scandal and it does need to be corrected. The important question is how we actually go about that. And some of the solutions that have been suggested and might be talked about today by the MPs about forcing suppliers to put people on a certain deal, quite frankly, suppliers will behave in a certain way. So if you say suppliers, you have to put everyone onto the cheapest deal, suddenly the cheapest deal no longer exists or is the same price as the SVT, the standard variable tariff, was in the first place. So the danger with those sort of potential silver bullets is that it makes people feel like we've sorted out the problem, but actually just gives the big six energy companies a license to continue to print money for themselves.
Well, what about, I can see you wanted to come back in there. What about the price capping idea, the relative price cap, where, there's a limit between your cheapest deal and your most expensive deal? That would make sense, wouldn't it?
I definitely see a logic in having a price cap because we shouldn't have bills sort of going up further and further and further. But where we are now and where we are last year was already too high. So the real question we should ask is how do we change our energy system so we're actually bringing it all down? And there's quite simple solutions. One is we need more locally run, publicly run, council run energy companies. We're seeing a couple, Robin Hood Energy from Nottingham, Bristol Energy in Bristol, and Sadiq Khan here in London promised in his manifesto that we'd get a fully licensed supply company as part of Energy for Londoners. Got to see if he delivers on that or not. Those can deliver cheaper, cleaner and more democratic energy because they're local, because they're not paying massive bonuses to the directors. They're ultimately bringing down the costs and creating local jobs, making everything more accountable. If you tie that in, the government basically could take 3 simple steps to make energy cheaper. They can support local energy companies, then they can retrofit, insulate our leaky homes. Britain has the leakiest homes in Europe. That would make an enormous difference. And thirdly, they could stop blocking the cheapest form of electricity in this country, which is onshore wind. That would make quite a dramatic difference.
Yeah, Richard, renewable energy, that always comes up, doesn't it? And a lot of people saying, why isn't the government investing in this